What's going on, CrossFit Federal Way? It is Tuesday, and we're going to talk about what's on the board. So, today we are starting, obviously the general warm-up, specific warm-up and stuff like that will be posted, but when we're done getting warmed up for today, we're going to spend 15 minutes working on some handstands. I noticed getting athletes back in the gym again and all that sort of stuff, just programming some handstand push-ups and looking at how people are responding to getting inverted and getting upside down. There's a lot of uncomfortability there. People are not feeling very confident in those positions and all that sort of stuff unless they've been consistent throughout quarantine. Sorry, Gunner's playing with a ball behind there, so if you hear his collar rattling and stuff, it's okay. It's just Gunner. Anyway. So we want to spend 15 minutes working on handstand practice. Now that could be handstands against the wall. That could be handstand push-ups. That could be freestanding handstands. It could be handstand walking. It could be shoulder taps. It could be a lot of things. Either way, the point is to spend a decent amount of time getting upside down, getting inverted, reacclimating ourselves to being back in that position, because we're going to see that stuff a lot more as we get back into the gym and we move through our phases and we start to get more bodies in here. So 15 minutes of handstand practice. That doesn't mean you're going to spend 15 minutes upside down, but give yourself plenty of time to practice that sort of stuff. And then we are going into a 15-minute AMRAP. So as many rounds and reps as possible of 25 double unders, 10 Medball Cleans, 20 pounds for the guys, 14 pounds for the gals, 5 Burpee Box Jumps. Now these are Burpee Box Jumps, not jump overs. 24 inches for the guys, 20 inches for the gals, and then a 200-meter run. So just working our way through that, as many rounds and reps as we can get in 15 minutes. So let's talk a little bit about it, starting with our double unders. So the double under, again, we've talked through this stuff a lot. This will sound a little bit like a broken record, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So elbows are tucked in close to the body. My hands are a little bit in the frontal plane of my body. It should be that as I'm standing here, if my hands are in the right position and I'm looking straight ahead, I can see my fingers moving in my peripheral vision. So that means that my hands are not down by my hips. They're not back behind me. Why? Because if they're out in front, then where that rope lands, I'm going to have a much higher likelihood of getting over that rope and not catching myself on the toes. The more I translate back, the more likely I am to catch the toes or my heels of my shoes. And then the other thing about that bent elbow and tucking those arms in is I'm much more likely to actually use wrist rotation instead of locking my arms out. Everything's all tight, my shoulders are all tense, and then all of a sudden rotating at the wrist doesn't happen because why? I've got so much muscular tension here, I can't allow that wrist to rotate. So I'm holding on my rope just tight enough and then working on the speed and timing of that double under. So just going through 25 double unders at the beginning of that round. Then when I'm done with my doubles, set my rope down and move on to a Medball Clean. Now Medball Cleans we may not have done for a while, and that is okay. The Medball Clean, you can kind of look at it as almost like a double squat depending on how you do this. But the laces of my Medball are facing out. One thing I want you to do is I'm going to face the camera as I do this first one. I want you to notice what happens or what doesn't happen with the laces of my Medball. So I'm going to do a rep, and I want you to think about what you saw or didn't see, and then I'll talk about what you should be looking for. So hands are on the side. I'm going to do a single rep of a Medball Clean. So what didn't happen, or what did happen? The laces didn't move. So as I'm coming up, you'll see the laces stay facing forward the entire time. What that means I'm not doing is I am not standing up and curling that Medball, because notice what the laces do here. Can't see them at the top. So I'm not curling the Medball up into that clean. I'm coming up and getting under the ball, so transitioning underneath that Medball as fast as I can. There's a moment on the way up when I jump and shrug that Medball gets weightless, and that's the moment I'm pulling myself under that Medball. That's what makes it a Medball Clean rather than just picking it up and doing a front squat. So up, and I gotta stand all the way back up. If I allow that Medball to start to come back down on my way back up, that's not a good rep. It's not a good clean with a barbell until I stand all the way up. I could get, if I could get 300 pounds here, congratulations, but until you're all the way back at the top, you didn't actually clean it. Same thing goes with our Medball, even if it's only 20 pounds, 14 pounds. So and cycling those med balls, I'm just going to take it right back to the ground every time. But notice I'm standing all the way up on every rep before that med ball comes right back down. So Medball Cleans are doing 10 of them, and then 5 burpee box jumps. Kick my med ball out of the way here. So again, it's a burpee box jump, meaning I have to stand all the way up at the top of the box. I'm going to scoot this over, so I've got a little more room to burpee. Chest and thighs hit the deck. I'm going to stand back up, and then jump and stand up tall at the top. That's 1 rep. Then I'm going to obviously come back down into my next burpee. Doing 5 of those every round. And you'll notice again my footwork on that. As I'm coming down and burpee, as I step back up, as soon as my feet come back together, that's when I'm initiating my jump. So there's a 2-foot landing or 2-foot takeoff, 2-foot landing on the box jump, and then standing up nice and tall. From there, I'm out the door and on my 200-meter run, coming right back into it, straight back to my double unders. So, again, going back to the board, 15 minutes of that. And you'll notice that these are all pretty small sets and a short run. We should be getting a decent number of rounds. If I find that, let's just say my proficiency at double unders means that I'm spending a minute, 2 minutes trying to get 25 dubs, scale the number down. Don't necessarily stop doing double unders, but maybe it's 15. Maybe it's 10. If I only get 2 or 3 at a time, I should be at 25 double unders. That should be maybe 20 seconds worth of work. So I want to make sure I'm picking numbers where I'm getting the appropriate stimulus from this workout, and I'm not just, sending it on everything and just whipping the hell out of myself with my double unders. The Medball Cleans and burpees, there's nothing that's crazy difficult about those, but they are going to tax your heart rate, and all that squatting here is going to impact your run. So this is one of those things that compounds on itself as you go. But again, 15 minutes isn't all that long. Get after it. Get some rounds and reps in. Feel good when you're done. It's going to be a great day. So let's get to it. Anyway, Tuesday. It's going to be a good time. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you in the gym. Let's get after it.